Hello, welcome to episode 3 of whatever this is. It's been a while. I think it's been like 3 weeks since the last one I did. This one has some different stuff. This time I'm streaming. Since I was recording and uploading the video right after, and I wasn't doing any edits or anything, so I thought, why don't I just stream to YouTube and then I test the actual streaming and how it works and how it feels. So far, OBS seems to integrate well enough. So yeah, let's see how it looks. Hopefully it'll be easier after I finish. So yeah, that's that. And some other updates on what's been going on in the last few weeks. First, okay, so I think I mentioned last time I was working on this app, or I was thinking of working on a different app than Iris. If yeah, it according to my bullet points for last one, I mentioned it. So the app is out, like in the App Store, so people can actually download it. Whoever gets to find it, I guess. So that's a good thing. That was yesterday, I think, that they let me upload the app. So yeah, it's been out for like 24 hours. Uh, uh, and it felt good after having to fight with every. I say fight because it's kind of hard to deal with reviewers, and because they tend to be way too detailed in their test. I kinda understand why, because they don't want every like dumb stupid app to go up in the store, or buggy apps or stuff like that. But then there were like uh, reporting actual features as bugs just because I didn't explain it to them. But yeah, anyway, the app is out, and I will probably add a link to it in the description somewhere. Uh, so yeah, that's what I've been doing mostly for the last weeks. Working on that, fixing stuff that they asked me to be able to release it, and yeah. Also, I've been spending most of the rest of my free time playing. That's like the last few days, but still, Legendary Tales. Yeah, that's a VR game that kind of just came out for a PSVR, so I've been playing that a lot. So yeah, that's why it took me so long, mainly because of the app, lately because of the game, and I was kind of tired of dealing with the app and stuff. So yeah, I didn't have like enough energy. I actually have the let's say the script, even though it's not actually a script. I've had the script for like a week, but I just couldn't get the time and or the energy to get here and record stuff and upload and stuff. Yeah, what I'm doing now. So since the app came out, it, I published it yesterday, so now I have like mind space to actually do it. So yeah, that's why I'm here now. And that's pretty much it. Next steps, I'll probably add some more stuff to the app, at least one or two updates, because I want to add like stats and summaries and stuff, because I think that's what actually adds value to what the app does. So yeah, uh, I want to do that, and also I want to say passively learning how to build games, and I'm probably gonna be working on that right after I finish the app. and it's pretty interesting. I still haven't finished the concept of the game, but I'm gonna start working on it in the next week probably. I'll probably talk about it in the next update I do here. So yeah, that's pretty much it in the sense of updates. So in the rest of my notes, I have two things I wanted to mention. One's quicker, so let's go with that. I was thinking like, what is this I'm doing here? Because it's actually not like a proper podcast because I don't have specifically topics to talk about, so I don't know. But it's also not a vlog because I'm not purely updating people on what I'm doing. I'd like to go like a bit deeper, like stuff I learned and uh, what I think about certain things that happen and stuff like that. So I want to go like a bit deeper. So it might be like a mix of a blog uh, and a podcast, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if like a live podcast is a thing. I don't think so. I haven't seen any that I remember. Anyway, yeah, that's what I was thinking about how to call this. That's why I went with a podcast because I think that's closer to what I actually want to do, like discuss specific topics and talk about what I think, what I can learn, what other people could learn from certain topics and how to see certain things. So yeah, that's why I went with a podcast concept. And yeah, the other thing is uh, that I've I was thinking the first app I started to work on Iris, as I talked about in the first episode. Uh, I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep working on it. First, because it's heavily integrated and kind of dependent on Notion in a way. Like I like the concept, but working with Notion as someone who's not that experienced with backend is hard because the Notion API is not the easiest thing to integrate with, and uh, I wanted to do everything like in the app, or at least most things in the app. I didn't want to have like a actual backend and a database online. So that complicates things because it's kind of hard anyway. If I do it in the app, everything's hard because integrating with Notion is complicated because there's not a proper library to do that. As with, say, Google or Apple or whatever, I could just use standard login stuff, libraries and stuff to integrate with them, but Notion doesn't have that yet. So I have to do everything myself, and that's complicated without a backend. But then adding a backend means having to code two apps at least, and then having to maintain both databases synced, and also Notion. So I don't know if it's worth the effort. And also, I don't know if the product makes sense because it's something that they can release at any point. Like like recently they actually did something similar to what I wanted to do. That they added uh, shortcuts to their app and stuff. So I don't know if my app makes sense anymore because yeah, I have the offline stuff, but then that's the hardest part to build. And I don't know if that alone is enough to sell something. And then they also can and probably are already working on releasing that for their app. So Is all my, I mean, it's still a cool project to work on, but right now I don't want a cool project to work on. I want something that I can release relatively quickly, because I want to start putting things out there as I did with the macros app. I want to be able to start building something and releasing it. So I don't want to spend 6 months working on something just so they release an update and do the same thing that I'm doing. And I couldn't think of any other value to add to the app right now. So yeah, that's paused for now. I might get back to work on it just for the sake of it to finish the project, but I don't think so, because I have a ton of ideas that I want to work on and that are probably more valuable and interesting to work on. So yeah, that's it. But I learned a few things, so it's not just wasted time, because I found out that I spent a ton of time thinking on the name, working on how it's gonna be called, how it's gonna work, and also approaching the problem probably not from the best place. I should have probably thought about it more at the start and come up with a better solution than what I did. I spent a ton of time working on stuff that I ended up not using, and that I uh, like got tired and frustrated in up to a point working on stuff that in the end go didn't go anywhere. So yeah, I still learned what not to do, I guess, in a way. So yeah, and that actually helped me with the second app, because I knew how to focus on stuff that I was able to ship, and I didn't focus on name. I didn't focus on login logic and integration with stuff. I just built things that I needed as I needed them, and added stuff in the most basic way I could, just so they worked. And that's how they are now. And that actually helped me get to this point. I actually learned also about how to work the UI. Some stuff I learned with Iris I used in the macros app. So yeah, I think that's it in a way, what I learned from Iris. So yeah, I might go back to work on it, but I'm not sure, and I'll leave it there for now. Yeah, and the last thing I can think of right now is why I don't script. Why you might see me thinking all over the place and coming up with words and stuff. Is that, as I think I mentioned in the first video, this is like part of why I'm doing this is to be able to speak my ideas in a way that makes sense without having them written down and without having to read them, because that's something I've noticed that I'm struggling with at work, when I have to, when people ask certain questions and I don't know how to express what I'm thinking, maybe the logic of what I'm trying to say, or the like an idea that I can come up with or something, a comment or something. I'm not sure always how to make the ideas make sense so that other people understand them, and that's what I'm trying to train here in a way, so that I can speak from my mind directly to people and they can kind of understand me. So yeah, that's why I may be like rambling and looking around all over the place everywhere. And sometimes I look at my notes that I have here, but that's like a way to set my eyes on something so that I can think, I guess, because I don't have a lot of stuff written. So yeah, and that's, I think, it for now. I'm gonna leave there. Next time I probably talk about. I'll give you some updates on how the app's doing, how the updates are doing, and I'll try to come up with the concept for the game so I can talk about that, or whatever else I come up with that I think it's interesting enough to say it here. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. We're at the 16 minutes mark. So I'm gonna leave it there until next week. Bye!